Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark changes her strategy and course for the European League at the request of Indiana supporters have finally accepted that Caitlin Clark will play in the WNBA again after she ruined her Europe League journey. Though Europe was practically treating Caitlin like royalty, preparing to crown her and make her the highest paid female in the league, it should be remembered that the WNBA has a toxic culture and has been a hot mess with her throughout the season.
As the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
Because, let's face it, the WNBA has suffered without Caitlin Clark and now cannot afford to lose her permanently. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert personally apologized to Caitlin, condemned the prejudice, and promised to make right. What plans does the WNBA currently have? And will they actually fulfill their promises?
See her at this event. You see the kind of noise that this is making. You see that this is trending on social media. You see that SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, all of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything.
Now, how many times have you heard a sports commissioner apologize to a player and act that weak? Never, and let's be honest, the commissioner's full-on, "we failed you" outburst was the height of desperation because Caitlin was going to step down, take the bag, and become the face of basketball globally. This was a personal matter, not merely a publicity stunt they devised in a boardroom. The commissioner publicly admitted that the WNBA had failed Caitlin in a major manner by enabling dubious politics and overtly racist behavior to go place on and off the floor while the league chose to ignore the problem.
They did everything they could to sabotage their own league. And yeah, it backfired. For me anyway, I think it's hard to argue that it didn't completely backfire for them because Caitlin Clark is more popular than ever.
Since the WNBA isn't exactly known for managing its drama, it's not only shocking but downright outrageous when they finally acknowledge that they let Caitlin down. They seem to have finally realized that they had lost the player, not just a person. Without Caitlin, ticket sales plummeted, viewership plummeted, and the league as a whole was on the verge of flatlining. She wasn't just their star, she was the reason people even tuned in. Not only did the WNBA make a mistake, but they were on the verge of collapse, and Caitlin was essential to keeping the ship afloat.
LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name is Nelly Korda. So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere.
She's saying, "Yeah, you messed up, but now you're going to fix it by turning down that beautiful European gig." Nor is this solely about her. She is forcing everyone in the league to look in the mirror and start tackling the problems they have been putting off. Her apology wasn't just for show, it served as a wake-up call to the WNBA and its supporters, who are vowing that things will change and that Caitlin is at the forefront of this movement. She stated that she will now attempt to adapt to the WNBA's past actions. The WNBA will lose more than...
But there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television. And that was great. Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending.
The WNBA knows they can't afford to make a mistake again now that Caitlin is back, but on her terms. Instead of just getting their star back, Caitlin's reappearance offers them the chance to entirely alter their story. Caitlin is in charge of everything, and this is about fixing what's broken, not just about basketball anymore. People will be talking about this story for years to come because it's a power transfer that's unlike anything we've ever witnessed.
The LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their #1 golfer, who is currently leading the sport and pushing the sport ahead, if they put her next to Caitlin for the entire event, that's just great. It's great for Nelly and it's great for everyone else.
They were the major protagonists in this horror show, and an analysis of the league's internal issues showed that Caitlin had been dealing with a lot of trash on and off the court. Oh no. There was a whole scandal here, not just a few bad apples. Angel Reese and Alyssa Thomas had supposedly been saying much more than just hard fouls, racist slurs, bullying, and anything else you could think of, so you had to know that their names would be brought up immediately. Because Caitlyn versus Angel had good ratings, spoiler alert, the league chose to ignore it.
One thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark, and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there, we didn't hear any of that. And those are the types of things that we have been hearing for the entirety of the WNBA season.
4 months, Caitlyn had been silently enduring this bullshit in the hopes that someone would intervene, but the WNBA essentially ignored it, pretending it was a friendly competition. But when Caitlyn finally reached her breaking point and declared, "I'm out of here," the league realized they had just committed the greatest error of their lives. Caitlyn wasn't just a superstar, she was the superstar, and when she left, the money went with her ticket sales, the viewership plummeted.
There's immediate hesitancy. Is that a word? There's immediate hesitancy about giving Caitlin Clark too much praise. They didn't want to give her too much praise. They didn't want to prop her up too much and forget about everyone else who came before her.
They thought that Kathy Angelbird had lost an opportunity to say, "We don't support this sort of behavior in our league," and to actually confront the problem. After playing yesterday, Brianna St. had similar feelings when she said, "As much as the players love this sort of influx of fans that have come from this rivalry at a certain point, enough is enough, and that's what they really hoped." We're talking about over $10 million a year, people. That's life-altering money that the WNBA couldn't touch that right wrong in a move no one saw coming. But while all of this was happening, Caitlyn...
If you look at the LPGA Twitter account, it is filled with Caitlin Clark things. Photos of her, a whole video of the fans cheering her, signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfers.
Because when Caitlin Clark leaves the WNBA, the league as a whole starts to fall apart faster than a broken elevator, and it's not even subtle. Ticket sales are at an all-time low. During Caitlyn's first season in 2024, Crash and Burn's viewership was halved. She was effectively in charge of the entire organization in addition to playing basketball. Indeed, that was historic as well as impressive. Her games drew an insane average viewership of 1.8 million, propelling the WNBA to heights they hadn't even dreamed about in decades. 1.8 million viewers, I'll say that again, were not seen by the WNBA since the 3-0 line was founded.
Didn't want to put her on MVP ladders, didn't want to put her as Rookie of the Year until it was so evident that they had to. There was just so many things that it felt like it was always just a little bit of a push, like make sure you don't do too much. We don't want to give her too much praise. We don't want to tweet about her too much. We don't want to post about her too much. We don't want to give her too much media coverage.
When Caitlyn got on the court, everything was different. Not only did the Fever's games sell out, but her jersey sales were also extremely high, making them the most sought-after tickets in town. Every game was sold out, so if you wanted to see her perform, good luck finding a seat. In essence, the WNBA was profitable due of Caitlin Clark, but after she departed, no one was rushing to get tickets, everything stopped selling merchandise, and the arenas that had formerly...
LPGA, you can see when it came to them that they were happy that Caitlin Clark was there. They knew exactly the value that Caitlin Clark brought.
But as soon as she even hinted that she might be leaving, the hype train seemed to abruptly collapse as if someone had hit the emergency stop button. It took fans more time to leave the league than it did to leave a terrible film. Let's talk about the specifics. 2.5 million people watched the Fever's 2024 playoff debut, which was practically a WNBA first. Even the semifinals, which are supposed to be the games that attract everyone, witnessed a dramatic drop in viewing from 1.8 million to just 64,000 after Caitlyn's elimination, and the next round of games barely made half of that.
We don't want to give her too much praise. We don't want to tweet about her too much. We don't want to post about her too much. We don't want to give her too much media coverage. Let's just make sure that everyone else is also happy. Like that seemed to be the consensus for the entire WNBA season.
After seeing their fan base and financial resources disappear along with Caitlyn, it should not be surprising that the WNBA was willing to do anything it took to win her back. Since the league realized they needed Caitlyn and couldn't operate without her, Their apology was not only intended to make atonement for her but also to prevent the league from disintegrating as a whole. The league suffered a serious financial and cultural setback. The WNBA was not only in crisis.
You see her at this event. You see the kind of noise that this is making. You see that this is trending on social media. You see that SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, all of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything.
And the WNBA had the audacity to think that we don't need such absurdity. Instead of acting as though Clark was a threat, they missed a great opportunity to boost ticket sales, engage more people, and of course bring in a tidal wave of wonderful PR. For heaven's sake, she's enhancing the attention rather than stealing it. It's nearly cruel to see the WNBA cling to their outdated thinking when they might have had it all and been the talk of the sports world.
Was the fact that the WNBA posted nothing, posted zero about Caitlin Clark golfing in this Pro-Am event. If you look at the LPGA,
the LPGA knew that by accepting Clark, they were fostering greater growth and a more exciting new era. In contrast, the WNBA made the incredibly naive choice to put self-preservation ahead of evolution. Though the WNBA somehow feels that it's better to keep their exclusivity while watching fans flock to sports that genuinely grasp it, the future of women's sports is all about flexibility and teamwork, not stagnation. Instead of embracing this age, which has the potential to revolutionize women's sports, the WNBA is undermining itself. It is quite ridiculous that the WNBA is fumbling while the LPGA is writing the playbook on how to win because they are too petty to see that sharing the spotlight could benefit everyone. They are behaving like a kid who doesn't want to share their toys. Let's be honest, that is not only poor strategy, it is blatantly foolish.